My name is Cindi Nand.
My name is Alyse Jenkins.
My name is Madame Donut. I decided to be a pastry chef because when I was younger, my mom asked me what I wanted to be, and I answered with what I didn't want to be. I didn't want to be a meter maid because as soon as you see a meter maid, you know you're probably going to get a ticket, so you're not excited to see them. I also did not want to be a dentist because most people don't want to see their dentist. So I wanted to be somebody who created treats, so people were excited to see me before they even have what I have to make. So donuts, when I say I make donuts, people just smile as soon as I say that, and I want to be the bringer of smiles and the bringer of treats. My favorite tool is the fryer. I know usually pastry chef loves the oven, but I love the magic that frying makes. And I know people don't think about what that particular technique does, but when you really think about it, when you fry something, you get this thin, ideally, nice crust, and then you lock in all the moisture in the middle of that food, and I think no other cooking method creates that. I make brioche donuts, and you can bake brioche and it will be a beautiful pastry, but when you fry it, you have that nice, like, locked in moisture inside of that bread cakey donut, and I think it's amazing. Nothing else can do it that way. So yeah, I love frying. No shame in that. I make donuts because you're supposed to serve them fresh. And so to me, the ingredients should also mirror that or reflect that. I don't believe in ingredients that have to sit for so long and that it's okay. No, even flour should have a date, right? So to me, it's the freshness. If it's not fresh, I'm not going to use it. If it's not tasty, I'm not going to use it. I understand that we have trends. I don't believe in trends because those come and go. But the quality of freshness will never go out of style. That's how it has my ingredients. But when I have the time, I really like going to the upcountry market because not just the fact that you find some really fresh ingredients, first and foremost, of course, but you usually meet the farmers, and I think that's so much fun when you meet the source of what it is you're going to work with, of that ingredient. You can talk to them about how they grow them, their principles, and why they grow the food, and it helps me connect with them. Can you imagine a get-together or a festivity celebrating without food? I just cannot. I think we come together, we break bread for a reason. We share food as any culture will come together eating. There's something so innately satisfying about it. It's not just about like, oh, I'm hungry. No, it's a satisfaction. Since you're a baby, that's your first instinct, right? The baby cries and you give it something to eat and it calms down. I think as adults, we never really outgrow that, like how satisfying it is to just eat. I mean, I love food. So I love that I'm able to create it. I love that I have this profession that is so rooted to being human and being alive. I love working with poi or kalo in general because I love that it's a very significant ingredient or food here in Hawaii. And to me as a chef, I feel like when we're creating something, I think it's very important to connect with the terroir or the land you're from. And I feel like I have to represent where we're at. It's easy enough to get ingredients from offshore. You know, everything can be shipped here. But I feel like we shouldn't underutilize things that are grown here. We're in a far away land, and I feel like the more we use local ingredients, the more we're really going to help our culture, our land, and also just in general, just the respect of your aina, you know, and the aina giving back to you, and you give back by representing it through food or culture. As a pastry chef, what are the 3 things I cannot live without? Butter. First and foremost, I really love butter. Sugar, of course, being a pastry chef, and I use real sugar. There's no substitute for it. And good old-fashioned flour. Person who do I want to make a donut for? I've actually made the donut for him. It is the same inspirational pastry chef instructor that I had. He happened to have an event to do here. It's a Hawaii Food and Wine Festival, I believe. Chef Durfee came and he heard about me being in Maui, and he contacted me. He's like, "Hey, I heard you were making donuts," and I said, "Yes, chef, because of you." And he didn't even realize that that I was so inspired by him. And it was really cool because at the time we didn't have a donut shop yet. I made the donuts at home. I boxed him up 12 different donuts and met up with him at a parking lot on his way to the airport to go back home to California. And to me, just the feedback of this amazing pastry chef was so, just to me it was how do I put it? It was so special that he thought that they were great. I mean, this sounds funny, but one of the things, the compliments that he gave me is that it had the right amount of chew and salted properly. And for him to notice that like there's a good amount of salt in my pastry, that to me was like a big compliment. I cannot even tell you why, but it was. I certainly think being a pastry chef is an art form. In fact, most of my customers think that what I make is art. That not that they don't want to eat them, but before they eat them, they take pictures of them, and they always say, "This is art." I get a lot of that from our guests, from our friends and family, because it's an expression. To me, art is, well, it's like jazz. I'm basically jazzing up what a donut could be based on flavors and what you can eat. You know, it's art that you can eat. Best thing.
Do I think cooking is an art form? I definitely am an artist. I might have a science degree, but I'm an artist. And all the things that go along with being an artist come with that as well.
It is all about creativity. All about creativity. Bringing together flavors that match, bringing together colors that look beautiful, designing the table. It is all about creativity from step 1 to step 10. And what foods do I like to pair together? I like to put salty and sweet. Think popcorn and candy, peanut butter and chocolate. Salty and sweet have the most fun time inside your mouth. My own rule is color, balance, size, uniformity. I want people to walk up to that plate or walk up to that dish and feel good. Feel good. Cooking makes me feel joyful. It's like therapy for me because I get focused. So the rest of the world doesn't even exist. It's like a meditation. So I go into this focus and I feel all this love goes into the food and into you. If I were to fix a dinner for 6 of my closest friends, what I would like to serve is I would like to start off with a beautiful table of some appetizers. Here in Hawaii we call them pupus. My walnut pea dip, maybe my mango chipotle salsa, some gluten-free crackers. Then I would like to serve fresh island fish. Fresh right out of the ocean, maybe a mac-nut crust on top of that, lightly seared, a sauteed vegetable, beautiful spring green salad with my little liqueur salad dressing. And then for dessert, maybe chocolate mochi brownies or a gluten-free vanilla cake with chocolate peanut butter frosting or some gluten-free delight. That's what I would like to serve to my guests, my favorite meal. What I enjoy most about cooking for retreats specifically is the camaraderie, the sense of community, the intimacy that we get to share cooking breakfast, lunch, and dinner together as they are processing their workshop, they're growing, they're learning, they're open, they're brave, and I get to be in there to nurture, to help, to support. And the friends that I make, the fun that we have, the energy of community for a whole week we get to be together. That's different than being in a restaurant. One whole week we get to be together, and it is so fulfilling and intimate and joyful and happy. What am I most grateful for? Absolutely, I am most grateful for my life, for breath, for my health, for my family, for my friends, for my community. I am grateful to live on Maui, and I'm really grateful to do what I really love to do. What accomplishments am I most proud of? Top number one is my 3 boys. My 3 sons I am most proud of and have the most love for. Right close to that are my 3 granddaughters. After that, I am proud of myself. My future plans in the culinary world will certainly be to put out a cookbook. Have I ever used an easy bake oven? How do you think I got started in this business? Of course I did, absolutely.
I have never used an easy bake oven. Quite honestly, I don't even know what it looks like. I've heard of it. I've probably seen it, but not realizing it. I didn't grow up here, so I didn't get to play with these toys that most people know or grew up with.
Have I ever used an easy bake oven? My mother promised to get me an easy bake oven when I was about 5 years old. She did not get it for me. I got a rain check. I actually just brought this up recently when I was visiting her. Still have not gotten the easy bake oven, but I don't think I need it anymore. But it is a point of contempt. What do I love most about being a chef? Honestly, I love being able to wield knives, and I don't mind the jacket. But I love to be able to create out of anything. I don't need I don't need certain ingredients. I don't need a recipe. You can just give me whatever you have in your fridge, and I can make you a meal. Who has been the greatest inspiration in my cooking journey? I'd have to say it's myself. It comes from within. I've had plenty of support and guidance, but I'm the only one that has really inspired myself to create the things that I've created, to blend the flavors that I blended together, and to fuse all the different cuisines together that I've worked with. Do I follow composition rules when designing a plate? Yes and no. Definitely nothing on the rim. That's a no-no. But I want the food to be appealing, and I want the flavors to go together the way they're supposed to go together. So sometimes I don't want the sauce on the vegetables, but the sauce should be on the meats. And so instead of like just drenching the plate with sauce, put it on the side. It just depends on how the flavors go together. I want it to be as beautiful as possible, but I want it to be presented the way it was meant to be eaten. What do I enjoy the most about being a chef? Really, it's all ego for me. I really love to watch people take that first bite. That first spoon of ice cream, that first bite of cheesecake, that first sandwich, whatever it is, just to see the look on their face and their body language. That's, I mean, with all the school and all the experience, that's what it's all about. Future plans in the culinary world? Keep learning. I want to still travel the world and go to Europe and go everywhere I can and learn as much as I can. I want to go to rural India and cook on the ground. I want to go and work in hotels in London. I want to go be some chocolatier's little lackey in Paris. I want to do those things because that's how you learn and that's how you get better. I am most grateful for my mother. She showed me unconditional love in a way that nobody else could. And without her, I wouldn't be the woman that I am now. The accomplishments that I'm most proud of? I got to work on cruise ships, and that's what brought me to Maui. I moved to Hawaii. I have built my career up. I'm a tropical chef now. Makes me feel whole, makes me feel alive. Baking's my therapy. If I'm having a hard day, I have to make cookies. I don't want to eat them, I just have to make them. My power would be teleportation. Because I love to travel. It's just
My Supergirl power is the ability to stay energetic, happy, optimistic, 15 hours a day for a week while I cook for you.
My Supergirl power is I make some of the best donuts on the planet. I am most grateful for Maui and my community and the people who have been supporting me to be able to do what I do on an everyday basis. And I keep doing what I do because you keep letting me do what I do. I'm very grateful for that.
My advice to young girls who are thinking about becoming a chef is to get as much experience as you can in different areas. Study with different teachers, different food types, different environments. Find out what you really love and specialize and go for that. Make sure you really want to do this because it is hard work. It is so gratifying and so wonderful. You can have a very successful career.
Chef, the best piece of advice I can give you is don't give up. Be strong. Stay strong and go for your dream.
This is an advice that I heard a long time ago. Eat. If you don't eat, you won't know how to create food that is your own. You can go to culinary school, you can read recipes, you can follow recipes, but you're just copying somebody else's work. When you eat, you develop a library of flavors in your memory, and then anything that you create from that library is your food. You cannot be a true chef unless you're creating your own. You can be a cook because you're following orders or a recipe. But to be a true chef, it has to come from you, it has to be your story, it has to be your creation. And there's no way you can make good food unless you eat and understand every ingredient and how to put them together.
What makes me feel beautiful is when I wake up in the morning and the sun is shining and the birds are chirping and the air is crisp and I'm ready for the day and the bounty of nature is all around me and I know that I'm part of it. All this wonder and this beauty, that's what makes me feel beautiful.
What makes me feel beautiful is being able to live authentically. I think being able to wake up in the morning knowing that everything you're going to do that day expresses who you are as a person. Me being able to tell my story through my donuts is a gift, and having that aura of being myself, my true self, makes me feel really gorgeous, inside and out.
What makes me feel beautiful is just life. My heart, my love, my passion. The fact I get to cook food for people and see you smile. When I feel good in my own body, when I'm taking care of myself, I'm so beautiful. And even if I don't feel beautiful on the outside as my wrinkles and gray hair get more, I am so beautiful on the inside. And that's what I count on, because I can radiate that. That's what makes me feel beautiful.